Hello, I am working on a 50 states project where I paint all 50 states. I already did Nevada, so I'm going from the west east, so I'm gonna start with Washington. And I don't know a lot about Washington, except it rains a lot, and there's a lot of trees, I think. I've been to Washington, like I've never really been to Washington. Like, I went to Seattle and I've driven through it, but I don't know anything about Washington. So my paints suck. I'm hoping my cousin's gonna get me some for Christmas though, so she just straight up asked what I wanted and I'm like, watercolors. Anyway, I'm gonna try to make a bluish gray. I don't know what I'm doing. I need a test paper. Awesome. Alright, now I have no big paintbrushes because I just haven't been to the store in like 4 months. So, something you didn't know about me, because you don't know anything about me, is I was an art student for like 3 months. Then I quit. So, I'm gonna go a little bit at a time. Because this is probably what the sky looks like in Washington. I wish I had like yellow masking tape, but like I said, I haven't been to the store in like 3 months because this blue gets like everywhere, like it bleeds. There's this guy. Let's try to make some clouds. Oh, now that just took away everything, didn't it? So one of the reasons why I'm starting with Washington is because I don't have like a very good blue paint. Like, alright. That is definitely what a cloudy sky looks like. I lived in the desert most of my life, so you know what? I don't have any clue what the sky really looks like. Let's try to paint some trees. Beautiful. Another thing in Washington is the Pacific sea octopus who lives in trees. And let's make him. I have an idea of what octopuses look like, but this looks like a spider to me. And his greatest predator is Sasquatch. Of course, Bigfoot looks just like this for eyes. Which when I do black, I just use acrylic paint. Just because, like, whenever I was an art student, I bought black acrylic paint. I just never really used it all the way. He's happy because he just caught himself a delicious meal. So I looked up things in Washington and I remembered that coffee or Starbucks is in Seattle. So not only does he get a awesome octopus dinner, but he has Starbucks. Which I just hate coffee, so I never really cared for Starbucks. That's what Starbucks cups look like, right? I'm not going to forget the Space Needle, which I guess is white, because I looked up what it looked like, but I don't. I went to Seattle once and I hated it. It was weird. I don't know, there's just a lot of weird, gross people. Just kind of hanging out on the street. One of them told me to stay in school. What is this? Not the Space Needle, that's for sure. Oh, fun fact. My grandma went to she lived in Washington. She went to school with Kurt Cobain's dad. Maybe his mom also, I forgot. I don't really talk to my grandma. But she met Kurt Cobain when he was like 4 years old. Yeah, my grandma didn't tell me that until I was like 13. I don't know, I learned a lot of weird things from my grandma that I just didn't know. Because she just doesn't really talk to me. I mean, not that she doesn't like me, it's just, I don't know, I just don't talk to my grandma. Oh, that's perfect. I also read that Seattle is very gay. So I'm gonna put a nice flag right up here. There we go. Trees always take me forever. I wish I could just, like, Bob Ross trees and just, like, I quit my degree because I didn't want to live in Washington. That's one of the reasons why I changed my mind. Because I was going to school for media arts. And, which I don't know. I learned a lot of cool things that I'm never gonna use. It just got too expensive to live where I was living. So I had to move back home with my parents. Like, as things get closer, they'll get darker. So it's kind of hard to see like, it just looks awkward if there's, like, darker things in back, because that's just not how it is. I think Seattle's kind of overrated. It's like I've met a lot of people that have been like, I want to be a musician, so I'm moving to Seattle. It's like, why don't you just stay where you are? Like, I don't know. I feel like you don't have to move to, like, a music city to be a musician. But I don't know. I don't think the music is that good. I mean, I just don't listen to that type of music. So I just never cared for, like, any type of rock music, really. Well, some of it's okay. I can't say I don't like any of it. Once I went to a Comic-Con, it wasn't very good. I kind of only went because they had, they're actually pronounced Copic markers, I found out. I always pronounce them Copic markers. But anyway, I still just call them Copic markers because that's just what I've always been calling them. Like, my friend wanted to go because they had, like, them there that were just free to use all day long. And so we went to this workshop where we drew pictures of Batman, and I mean, I was pretty uninterested, but I did end up drawing Batman. Those emo bands, like, I don't even know what they're called. Black Veil Brides is one, Sleeping with Sirens I think is one, I don't know. Anyway, it's like, where do these people even come from? Like, do they dress like that, like, in real life? Like, before they were even famous? Maybe I should have drawn trees before the Space Needle. I wish I could draw portraits. Like, I practice, because, you know, you can't learn how to do anything if you don't practice. But, I mean, when I go back to school, I'm gonna do Oregon next, but I don't really know what to do because Oregon has a lot of trees also. And I don't know, Oregon's better than Washington, probably. I think Oregon has more deserts than Washington does. It's my family. When I was young, we used to go to Idaho. And when we'd go to Idaho, we would drive through, Eastern Oregon, and we were trying to go to Coeur d'Alene, so we would drive through Eastern Oregon and Eastern Washington. And then, like, all of Eastern Oregon is desert. Well, I think only, like, the bottom of Eastern Washington is desert. I could totally be wrong, though. About Washington, I know that all of Eastern Oregon is desert. Because Eastern Oregon is awful, awful place. No one should live or go there. It's like the hills have eyes. There's multiple movies I found out, and I watched another one, and it was, like, really terrible. Like, I don't even like The Hills Have Eyes, but the first movie was definitely the best. Also, Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn is a terrible movie, but it's always on during Halloween. The evergreen state.